Well, good morning and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids, and today we'll just have a look at these Paphiopedilum Lady Isabel. Now, I had one big plant of this and I split it probably, I don't know, it might be getting up for 12 months ago now, and it had never flowered, but once I'd split it, it did flower from one of the divisions. But it's come to a point now where one of them needs repotting again. It's got quite a few marked leaves on it, and yeah, it could do with a good repot, this one. Well, here you can see them both together, and you'll notice that the one in the deeper pot is doing much better than the other one. It's got beautiful new growth on it, and what I'm going to do, the other one, when I repot it later, it's going to be in another deep pot. Now, as you know, these plants are hybrids from Paphiopedilum Rothschildianum and Stony Eye. They both come from more or less the same district in Borneo, around about Mount Kinabalu. And it was first registered in 1895 by a gentleman named Thomas Statter of Manchester. Now, while this is interesting to me, is because our North of England Orchid Society was originally the Manchester Orchid Society, and our society was formed in 1897. And it's probably, and there's nobody doubted it, it's the oldest society in the world. And it's very interesting to think that the originator of Lady Isabel could have been a founder member of our society. There's another interesting story of how this plant came to be called Lady Isabel, which was, I think, registered in about 1897, yeah. Originally, Paphiopedilum Stony Eye was first introduced in 1860 with Rothschildianum in 1887, which, if you work that out, that Statter crossed these very slow growing species approximately 10 years after one of the parents came to be in England for the first time. And at that time there was no such thing as sterilising fluid, which, what do you use now? Agar, I think it's called. I've never used it, but I think that's what it is, because that was not available till about 1920, 21, something like that. And they used to propagate them by getting seeds and just scattering them on the pot of one of the parents. Doesn't matter which one, but they just scattered in one of them, hoping that the symbiotic fungi, which was existing on the medium, would sort of propagate the seeds. It did do, but the yields of them wasn't very high. But how they managed to grow plants in those days, I'll never know. And how it became known as, let my memory serve me right, Lady Isabel, is that Thomas Statter from Manchester was a land agent for the Earl of Derby, whose daughter was called Lady Isabel Stanley. So there's a connection between the Statter family and the Stanleys. Statter registered a Paphiopedilum in 1895 named Lord Derby. So it looks like it was kept in the family of the two names, and this was named after Lord Derby's daughter, Lady Isabel, which was then spelt with an O. Now, over the times, in fact, it was registered as Lady Isabel, but over the years someone's made a mistake registering it and has substituted the O for an A. So now we're just known it as Lady Isabel. They like temperatures from around 14 degrees centigrade going up into the 80s or high 80s. But to induce blooming, you've got to keep the plants cool in winter and keep them only moderately damp and never fertilise when roots are dry, because the fertiliser on the roots will burn them. As regards light, yep, they like light, not right fussy about sunlight, but they like 9 or 10 bright hours per day. They like a free draining compost, as they do for all Paphiopedilums, and today I'll be using a milkort pine bark with some charcoal. Right, we'll remove the label. In fact, the label's got an O in it and not an A, so that's what I've done anyhow. We'll remove this from the pot and just have a good look. I can't remember the last time I watered this, but as I said, I'll be redoing it with pine bark, charcoal, and maybe a few grow stones. Careful getting hold of these because I don't want to damage them. I don't know what the roots are like. It looks pretty dry. No, it's ready for watering. Just have a look at the roots, clean it up. Oh, there's 2 new growths, 3 new growths. Right, we'll have a look at those in a minute. I'll just clean this up, take all the bits and pieces out of the roots before I show you them. Well, that didn't need much cleaning up. I took 1 bad root off, that's all. All the other roots are rock hard. There's no new growing tips on yet, but that will come when the weather improves. You can see that flat pieces there is where I separated the 2 plants from, and we'll just have a quick look at this. You can see a new growth coming up there, a new growth coming up there, new growth coming up there, so this is doing fine. So I'm looking forward to potting this one up, and I don't know whether to remove these bad leaves or not. In fact, I think I'll leave them on, because that's a new growth there with a nice leaf coming up in the middle. There's another new growth here with a leaf coming up in the middle. So I'm going to leave, for a change, these bad leaves on. Both of the bad leaves are coming from this growth here, but coming from this growth are virtually the new growths. So I think I'll probably leave those on. Look a bit untidy for the time being, but if it does the plant good, then it'll be worth keeping them on. So I'm going to pot this up now, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Well, I'll be using for potting up this pine bark, and I'll put in a few grow stones and some charcoal, and I'll mix this in a ratio of about 3 parts bark to 1 part of charcoal, and I'll put all these in, so it doesn't matter about that. This will just keep the medium open and nice and damp. So we'll mix it all together. A good hand of charcoal in. Probably a bit more charcoal. And the only thing to do now is get it potted up and watered again. Because the roots are a little bit damp, so it'll be fine to, well, I won't be feeding it, I'll just be giving it pure RO water. Right, where's the plant? Oh, it's over here. Dear, dear. Here we are. So that plant, if you notice, just fits in there nicely. Nice deep pot with plenty of space for the roots to come on. Right. There's some wood in there, so we'll have that out. Need to plant it. Let's have a see. Yeah, about that depth, that would be nice. And keep it in the middle. A bit difficult because the leaves are so big. Probably need more. Oh, let's see if we can reach. Because I don't want it to fall over. There we are. Well, I'm very hopeful that I'll get some nice blooms off this one. Because there's some lovely growth on it, and what I will do, I'll make sure that the new growths are almost covered. Let's sprinkle a bit more of this on, because it's good for, it's always good for plants, is a bit of charcoal. Right, I think that will do for that one. So I'll just clean. Well, would you believe I've just had to repot this? I was walking past it, caught it with the back of my sweater, knocked it onto the floor, so I've had to repot it again. Well, while I'm at it, we might as well just have a quick look at this this other Lady Isabel, and this is coming up with a nice new leaf growth there. Another one starting down at the bottom. Nice new growth there coming up. Turn it round, see what's anything else coming up here. Another new growth coming up there. And this growth's looking quite nice. This leaf is bending this way, so what I'll do, I'll just put a little stake in there to hold it there until it sets. I'll do that now. And that's where it's flowered from before, so I won't repot this just yet. I'll just see how it goes, give it another couple of months and see if there's any change to it. There won't be much because these are so slow growing, but I don't feel like repotting this one now. So the only thing I can do now is thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.